Welcome in. It is a Sports by the Book Football Frenzy special. I don't know if you've heard, there's a football game on Sunday. It's a pretty big one. It's somewhat super. Eagles and Chiefs in the 59th version of the big game coming your way from New Orleans this weekend. We're going to break it down a little bit right now. I'm Jeff Parles, thrilled to be with you as always, and bringing in one of the best, if not the best, in the sports gambling space, part of unabated.com. Our good friend Gil Alexander once nominated him to be the commissioner of sports betting all the way around. It's the one and only Captain Jack Andrews on the tweets at CapJack2000 if you want to follow him. And I would suggest it if you are not right now. Jack, thanks for being with me today.
All right, Jeff, I'm looking forward to this. Let's talk that big game in New Orleans.
You know it. So let's just start here. I want to split this down the middle here. We'll get into some angles that you like and some thoughts on the teams second here. But I want to at least start because, look, you never know who's coming to these channels. Sometimes people are going to be betting the big game for the first time this year. And Jack, you've been at it for a long while here. Let's just start with, for people that are betting this game for the first time, maybe hopping in on sports betting new. Let's start with some do's here. What are things you want to be looking for in order to help you make your bets here on the big game?
Okay, obviously, if you're betting this for the first time, well, first of all, don't bet over your head. Have fun with this. Don't think this is your new way to have unlimited profits. The Super Bowl is a very tough market to beat, especially the game itself. So that line by game time on the Chiefs and the Eagles is going to be hammered into place. It's going to be very tough to get an edge there. So bet with who you want to root for in the game. Now, when it comes to props, those are a little bit more beatable. And the public tends to always bet on things to happen. Because think about it. You watch the Super Bowl. You don't want to be rooting for something not to happen. You want to see something happen. So the public is usually rooting for overs and yeses on yes-no props because they want to see it happen. Well, that lends to some value showing up on the unders and the nos. So if you're looking to find some value and you can stomach being the curmudgeon at the Super Bowl party who doesn't want, A.J. Brown to go over his total, you can find some value there. And so if you're a value seeker, that's the first place to look.
And then, Jack, just on the flip side of things here, like, again, we all make mistakes in this industry. It happens. It happens to the best of us. It happens to a lot of people who don't know what they're doing either. But what's the biggest thing with betting this game that for someone, and I know you said the important thing of know your limits, that goes for any sort of gambling, but what's one mistake that you normally see when people come in betting this game that you would say, all right, don't do this. This is the best way to not cost yourself money?
Yeah, usually that's just not taking 5 or 10 seconds to check the line at a couple different sports books. Line shopping. Line shopping is the single sharpest thing you can do as a bettor. So just take a little time, find what the lines are that are out there at other sports books and take the best price. It takes very little time. Other than that, one of the mistakes that people tend to make when betting into the Super Bowl is believing in too much of a game narrative and then having all of their bets play to that narrative. So in other words, they might be saying that, the Eagles are going to trail this entire game, so they're not going to be running it much with Barkley. They're going to be throwing it more, so I'm going to be taking Barkley unders and Hurts overs, and I'm going to have Kansas City to win. That's fine. You can have a narrative like that, but when you make a lot of bets, you now have a correlation between all those bets, and your outcome is kind of tied to that one game script that you believe in. So you might have a situation where you lose like all your bets, and to some people that's just defeating to them. So I would caution against having too many of your eggs in the same basket.
I learned that the hard way, Jack. Learned that the hard way. That Bucks Chiefs, the Bucks Chiefs Super Bowl was the one where that Chiefs 49ers Super Bowl went so well for me. It's like, oh, we're going to do this again. No, it was obviously a disaster. And quite frankly, should have known. No tackles in that game for Kansas City. And that was a problem. And since then I've done it. And I think it's a great point, like balancing your action here where you can cover, well, you know what? There's some overs that are going to hit in a game that goes under. There's going to be unders that hit in the game that goes over if we're just correlating to the total for the game. And look, there are hundreds of thousands of different game scripts here where the game could be a 75-point game. And just to take Travis Kelce, for example, Travis Kelce could have 2 catches for 9 yards like he did in the Buffalo game. So have your bases covered, like you said there, is great advice, Jack.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're right. It does not mean that the game is going to go the way you expect it to go. There's always going to be twists, especially with Kansas City. You were talking about this. Kansas City always has somebody from the lesser light, somebody from the bench that just steps up and has this crazy good Super Bowl game. Does that mean that's going to happen? I don't know. But Andy Reid always goes deep in the playbook, and Nick Sirianni has kind of shown that he goes deep in the playbook. So really, you got to be prepared for anything.
Nah, it's fun. It's funny, Jack. I've been on it for 2 weeks now. It was Damian Williams in 2019. 2020 was a disaster all the way around, so it was no one in 2020 for Kansas City. And then 2 years ago, it was Sky Moore and Kadarius Toney, who ended up getting laughed out of the league less than 2 years later. And last year, it was McCole Hardman, who caught an anytime touchdown. So, and it was a big one at that, to say the very least. So, again, look, there are thousands of ways to bet this game. But I think what Jack said there is very important, of being able to cover your bases regardless of the game flow. Don't get them all in one basket. It's as good of advice as there is on anything for betting this game. All right, well, let's get to betting this game here now, Jack. Hi, everyone. I'm Jeff Parles.
And I'm Alex White. Thank you for watching this clip of Sports by the Book. Please like the video, comment, and subscribe.
We live stream the show right here every day on this channel. Also, you can catch the podcast version on your favorite podcast platform.
All the links are in the description below. We appreciate you, and we'll see you next time.